Okay, good afternoon to all of you, everyone. Then I would like to thank to GrowingIL and Herzog Strategic for the opportunity to be here and present Haifa Group interest and involvement in the innovating in the agricultural sector. Then a few words about Haifa Group. Then the group was founded about 60 years ago. We are a multinational company with 17 daughter companies all around the world. Production sites, we have the main one in Israel, but we have others in France and Canada, two sites more. The annual turnover of the company, it's about $700 million. And logistic, we have about 100 warehouses all around the world, and this helps us to be closer to the market. Haifa is focusing and marketing mainly on what we call the specialty fertilizer to be used in the greenhouse and the open field crops. And those fertilizer is mainly applied through what we call the fertigation. This is the most advanced and efficient method of application that combined irrigation with fertilization. Production and transportation of fertilizer, as any other industry, is involved in produce in the emit of carbon greenhouse gases, or mostly the carbon dioxide. But we all know that those fertilizers are very much needed for the cultivation of what we call intensive crops that feeds the growing population all around the world. Those crops, or for the cultivation of those crops, are absorbed carbon dioxide from the atmosphere for their growth, and the net emission is reduced significantly because of that. Then the net emission is reduced, but still we have emission of greenhouse gases. What we can do in order to reduce even further those emissions of the carbon dioxide is to improve what we call the nutrient use efficiency of the usage of the fertilizer, mainly among what we call the conservative sector of the farmers, in which if we're going to adopt advanced solution of fertilization, we can improve the nutrient use efficiency. What's the meaning of nutrient use efficiency? Then we can see here, we can produce more with less. And this means that we can reduce the cost, the less pollution and contamination to the environment, and to get, at the same time, higher yields. How we can improve the nutrient efficiency? Then first of all is to use what we call the product-wise. We need to use a product that is of enhanced efficiency fertilizer. We have all types of traditional ones, but we have more advanced fertilizers. And using those fertilizers, part of them Haifa produce them, we can improve the nutrient efficiency. Second is the usage of application method of efficient ones, and here also fertigation that was mentioned before, it's one of them. As product-wise, Haifa is producing two main family of products. The first one and the main one is what we call the water-soluble fertilizers. And these are used through fertigation and are used also for foliar nutrition. The second family of fertilizer, or the efficient fertilizer, are the CRF, control release fertilizer. And those are applied on soil application, but what's called a single application, one-shot application in the beginning at the planting, sowing, or planting. We can improve further the nutrient efficiency by the usage of or key factor in this improvement can be technologies for monitoring and sensing of the plant nutritional situation. And that can be done in online in real time in order to improve and enabling the farmers to adjust their fertilization according to the varying growing conditions. As we know today, we are facing what we call the global warming. The crops are exposed to heat wave, the cold wave, rainy weather, and the absorption of fertilizer change because of that. And then by continuous monitoring, we can improve and adjust the application accordingly. One example for the efficient or enhanced efficient fertilizer is a MultiCoated of Haifa. This is a controlled fertilizer, is a polymer-coated fertilizer. Those type of fertilizer applied in single application in the beginning of the growing season. On the soil, they're absorbing humidity from the soil, and then the fertilizer of the nutrient inside dissolved and gradually are by diffusion process to the surrounding area and feeding the plant continuously through the root system. And here we can see the difference between the conventional fertilizer and those enhanced fertilizer. We can see that in, how's the logo? Blowing. So, like that, okay. Here we can see the conventional is the gray line. We can see that even if we are using what we call splitted application of conventional fertilizer, the plant in the beginning can have an excess of fertilizer, and in further it can be shortage of fertilizer because it's not, there's no match between the absorption and the growth pattern of the plant. And the orange line, it's the MultiCoated, and here we can see that we have better or a match between the plant absorption of the nutrients and the growth. Another important factor, the MultiCoated, the only factor that influences the release duration of the fertilizer is temperature. And as you know, normally the growth of plant, of crops, is dependent on temperature. We have higher temperature, more absorption, and then we can have better match between the absorption of the uptake and the fertilizer that we are providing. And that very important issue here that by using the CRF, we can reduce significantly the losses. First one to the volatilization, it's of the gases to the atmosphere, and also very big loss of leaching due to rain or to the sub-current water. And this is significantly. Here in this line of product, the challenge that we want to present and to get ideas how to solve it is to find a biodegradable coating agent or material. Today in Europe, we are facing what we call the microplastic regulation. And the actual coating agent is falling inside this category, and we're looking for advanced coating agent that from one side will be with the right features to control the release of the fertilizer, nutrient outside, but at the same time also will be biodegradable. Here, the crop tunes is an example for the monitoring that Haifa is involved of the nutrition in crops. CropTune was invented by Agriot. Agriot is a company that Haifa was invested in this company about 2 years ago and becoming like a strategic partner of the company and also the exclusive marketer and distributor of this company. The application, the app here, it's using the cell phone by any farmer, smallholder in any place around the world. They can take photo by the cell phone. You can choose after downloading having the app. You can choose the crop that you want to analyze. Here in this case, we have an example of corn. And then by taking this photo, we can have an analysis of this photo by algorithm that we have inside this app, and this getting indication about if there is a need for fertilization or not. In case that is positive, Then the farmer is getting how many, which type and how many kg of each type of fertilizer should be applied. This app today is giving us a good indication of about 90% accuracy for the nitrogen and about 75, 80 for phosphorus and potassium. And the challenge here that we are looking for technologies that can give us a good indication for the other elements that the plant needs, just like the secondary and the micronutrients. Just to summarize the interest of Haifa and what we'll be happy to get and ideas and to be helped by you is, first, as I mentioned before, the biodegradable agent, polymer-coated agent. Any technology that for plant nutrition monitoring, that we have already part of them, but any other that can help us to be more accurate in this field, it can be helpful for us. Advanced and efficient biostimulants. As you know, because of the global warming, the crops today are exposed to those kind of extreme weather conditions. And the biostimulant, it's one of the way to help those crops to overcome those extreme conditions. And any other software or system for what's called the decision support systems that can help farmers to get, from one side, data and to process the data that we are getting in order to make more accurate the fertilization and nutrition of the crops. And by this, to improve what we call the nutrient use efficiency. Then we will happy to get those ideas, and just to contact, we have here the details of Hanan Slushny, who is the group, Haifa Group Innovation Manager. Then any idea, you can contact him directly through those details. Thank you very much.